Triple H declares Cena versus Punk is done forever. Triple H dragged down for a controversial match result at WWE Night of Champions. Karrion Kross destroys rumors about avoiding back bumps at Night of Champions. Rhea Ripley has never taken such a beating. A top WWE doctor gives an update on Liv Morgan after surgery. Gunther versus Goldberg is absolutely miserable. Jacob Fatu's controversial match sparks outrage. Cody Rhodes confirms Randy Orton is not retiring from WWE. The real reason why Solo Sikoa won the United States Championship. Did WWE Night of Champions 2025 deliver? Let's dive right in. Did WWE Night of Champions 2025 deliver? Night of Champions 2025, WWE's lone Saudi Arabia event this year, wrapped up with a mix of highs and lows. No match was a total flop, which is a win, but many felt just okay. Solid but not unforgettable. Still, the two biggest bouts delivered big time, stealing the show. Here's how it all went down. Number 1, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, King of the Ring final. The night kicked off with a bang as real-life pals Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton battled for a shot at the undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Orton's back injury, tweaked after a superplex, was the heart of the story, slowing things down early, but building to a thrilling finish. Rhodes matched the Viper's pace, and the final moments were electric, showcasing why they're top tier. Orton unleashed multiple RKOs and even tried dirty tricks like a punt kick and an exposed turnbuckle, but couldn't seal the deal. Rhodes turned it around, sending Orton into the turnbuckle and hitting Kross Rhodes for the win. This match set the stage for more drama between these two. Rating 4 out of 5. Number 2, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez, Riyadh Boulevard street fight. This was a brutal, all-out war. Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez clicked perfectly, trading blows with kendo sticks, steel steps, and even the announce table. Ripley laid into Rodriguez with a studded belt, while Roxanne Perez tried to swing things for Raquel. It backfired, and Ripley capitalized, hitting a jaw-dropping riptide off a bridge table on the top rope. Mommy's big win proves she's ready to chase the Women's World Championship again. Rating 4 out of 5. Number 3, Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Sami Zayn was the crowd favorite, while Karrion Kross tried to push him to the dark side. The match was decent, but didn't quite soar. Kross talked a lot in the ring and nearly won with the Kross jacket, but Zayn fought back, landing a sudden hell of a kick for the victory. His underdog fire carried the story, and Kross shut down rumors about avoiding bumps by taking a blue thunder bomb like a champ. Rating 3 out of 5. Number 4, Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa, United States Championship. Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa's first clash was solid, but not their best. The Samoan werewolf was a fireball, fending off interference from JC Mateo and a returning Tonga Loa. But the tide turned when Hikuleo debuted, chokeslamming Fatu through the announce table. That set up Sikoa to hit a Samoan spike and snatch the US title. This story's just getting started, and they'll likely top this one. Rating 4 out of 5. Number 5, Jade Cargill versus Asuka, Queen of the Ring final. Asuka was nearly at her peak, guiding Jade Cargill through a tough fight. The Empress leaned hard on her submission skills, but Cargill's raw power shone through with multiple power bombs. She countered the Empress impact to hit Jaded, though a sloppy pinfall hurt the moment. Cargill won, earning a WWE Women's Championship shot at SummerSlam, but the crowd wasn't fully invested. Rating 2 out of 5. Number 6, John Cena versus CM Punk, undisputed WWE Championship. The main event was pure gold, with John Cena and CM Punk delivering a classic. Their chemistry was off the charts, blending predictable but slick counters with big moves. Cena hit multiple attitude adjustments, but Punk kicked out every time. Punk pulled out AJ Lee's Black Widow and a GTS, but it wasn't enough. Things got wild when Seth Rollins jumped in, with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker putting Punk through the announce table and attacking Cena. Penta and Sami Zayn evened the odds, taking out Breaker and Reed. Punk and Cena shared a brief moment of respect before Rollins struck again, stomping Punk. Cena tossed Rollins out and pinned Punk to retain. This chaotic, intense closer was a highlight of Night of Champions. Rating 4 out of 5. Did Night of Champions 2025 deliver? The top matches carried the show, but the middle left some wanting more. What's your take? Triple H dragged down for a controversial match result at WWE Night of Champions. At WWE Night of Champions, Karrion Kross went head-to-head with Sami Zayn, but it was Zayn who walked away with the victory. The result sparked a wave of backlash, with fans taking aim at Triple H for the decision. After the match, Triple H hopped on Twitter to praise Zayn, writing, "Overcoming adversity. Sami Zayn is one of the best in the business." Fans weren't having it. One fired back, questioning, overcoming what adversity? Another called out Zayn's push, dubbing it the Sami Hogan treatment, and argued Kross deserved the win, saying the Saudi Arabia setting didn't justify Zayn's victory. The Sami Hogan push needs to be studied. Kross deserved that win. Just because it's Saudi doesn't mean Sami needed the win. Others were harsher, with one fan blasting Triple H as a bald fraud and shouting, "Nobody wanted this!" Another pointed out the odd choice to paint Zayn as a huge underdog when Kross hasn't won a match on Raw, SmackDown, or a major event since July 29th, 2024. They also took a dig at Triple H's booking, saying, "Making Sami a big underdog when Kross hasn't won a match on Raw SD major event since July 29th, 2024 is insane to me. HHH can't cook anymore." While Zayn celebrates another big win, it's clear some fans aren't sold on WWE's storytelling. Kross, meanwhile, needs to dust himself off and find a way back to the top. What's next for him? Only time will tell. Karrion Kross destroys rumors about avoiding back bumps at Night of Champions. Karrion Kross has been dogged by claims that he avoids flat back bumps, but he put those rumors to rest in a big way at Night of Champions. Facing off against Sami Zayn in a hard-hitting singles match, Kross proved he's got no issue taking punishment. In one standout moment, Zayn blasted Kross with a massive clothesline while he was on the ropes, sending him crashing to the outside with a smooth, picture-perfect back bump that silenced the doubters. The chatter started when Wade Keller from PW Torch suggested Kross might be held back in WWE because he shies away from bumps. Keller claimed some wrestlers thought Kross's style could be a problem on the main roster, hinting he might be scared, uncomfortable, or dealing with an injury. I talked about this when he was all the rage in NXT and coming out of TNA. I was like, wrestlers are telling me when he gets to the main roster, nobody's gonna put up with the fact that he doesn't take bumps. He's scared to bump. He doesn't flat back bump. I don't know if he's got an injury or a concern. Kross favors one side, which can cause an injury, so I don't know if he has a pre-existing condition or he's just not comfortable taking bumps. I don't know. I don't have the inside story on that. But I know wrestlers who I chat with about things when I want wrestlers' insight are like, "Oh right, Wade, you're right when you say Karrion Kross won't be a big star on the main roster, but one of the reasons you are missing out is just watch his next match. He just doesn't really take bumps. It's not that he's slow or plodding, or he's not that tall compared to the rosters in TNA and NXT, where his gimmick he needs to be taller than his opponent to make up for the fact that he's not creating movement. A lot of things are working against him. But all that said, I find this current character delightful. Producers who've worked with Kross have already shot down these claims, saying they've never seen any issues with his in-ring performance. Kross also spoke positively about wrestling in Saudi Arabia, where Clash of Champions is set to take place. Though he didn't beat Zayn, Kross showed the world he can take a bump like a champ. What's next for him? We'll just have to wait and see. Rhea Ripley has never taken such a beating. Rhea Ripley came out on top in a savage street fight against Raquel Rodriguez at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. The two women went all out, smashing each other with anything they could grab, pushing their limits in a chaotic brawl. At one point, Raquel seemed to have the upper hand when Roxanne Perez showed up to stack the odds against Ripley, but Rhea turned the tables, sealing the win with a devastating riptide from the top rope. In an exclusive talk with Sportskeeda Wrestling, veteran journalist Bill Apter said he was blown away by the raw intensity both women brought. He pointed out that Ripley took a beating like never before, and that the match rivaled some of the toughest men's fights he's seen. I've never seen Rhea Ripley take such a beating. I've never seen such power from a woman like Raquel Rodriguez. The two of them, this was like they called it a street fight, and it was an incredible tough match. Bill added, "You could put this up against any street fight with two men, and it would probably equal or better than some of the men's street fights. This match was incredible. Raquel Rodriguez is extremely underrated. With this victory, Ripley has once again proven she's one of the fiercest women in WWE. Will she now set her sights on the Women's World Championship? Only time will tell." A top WWE doctor gives an update on Liv Morgan after surgery. Liv Morgan is on the road to recovery after shoulder surgery, and a top WWE doctor is giving fans the first glimpse into her progress. Dr. Kevin Wilk, Associate Clinical Director and co-founder of Champion Sports Medicine in Birmingham, Alabama, shared a photo on social media posing with the WWE superstar post-operation. In his Instagram caption, Wilk raved about Morgan's work ethic and athletic talent, hinting at a strong comeback. "Awesome honor and pleasure to be helping WWE superstar Liv Morgan with her shoulder rehabilitation," Wilk wrote. "Fantastic athlete, dedicated and great to work with." He also gave a shout out to the surgeon, Dr. Jeff Dugas of Andrews Sports Medicine, and promised that Morgan's return will be worth the wait. "This WWE superstar will be back and back even better. Outstanding athlete. he added. Morgan's injury, believed to be a separated or dislocated shoulder, happened during her match against Sky on the June 16th episode of Raw. WWE has confirmed she'll be sidelined for several months while she heals. Gunther versus Goldberg is absolutely miserable. Gunther and Goldberg are set to clash for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event on July 12th, but the buildup has been a letdown, according to inside sources. The Bad Blood started back in October 2024 at Bad Blood, when Gunther tore into the WWE Hall of Famer during an in-ring promo. After months of talk, Goldberg returned on the June 16th episode of Raw to challenge the Ring General. On Sportskeeda Wrestling's Writing with Inside Sources, the former WCW and WWE head writer told host Dr. Chris Featherstone the storyline has been a complete mess. He also wondered if Goldberg would agree to lose in what's billed as his final match. First of all, man, the way they've booked this whole thing has been absolutely miserable, because what should happen is, if they want to save Gunther, Gunther should go over, inside sources said. However, this is supposed to be Goldberg's last match, and I find it hard to believe that Goldberg's gonna okay that. I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna have a match where I'm gonna lose to Gunther. That doesn't sound like the Goldberg I know, but the Goldberg I know was 25 years ago. So maybe he's changed. Since hitting WWE's main roster in 2022, Gunther has been a top villain, locking horns with big names like Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn. Inside sources think a win over Goldberg could spark a major shift, turning the Ring General into a fan favorite. The best thing they can probably do, bro, is knock down, drag out match. Gunther squeaks over. Goldberg shakes his hand and endorses him. Now, at that point, you could turn Gunther babyface. Inside sources also questioned whether WWE's creative team might shake things up with 2 World Heavyweight title changes at Saturday night's main event. Cody Rhodes confirms Randy Orton is not retiring from WWE. Cody Rhodes made waves at Night of Champions, not just by winning the 2025 King of the Ring, but by dropping a major bombshell about Randy Orton. Right after his hard-fought 20-minute victory over the Viper in the King of the Ring final, Rhodes spoke to Byron Saxton in a post-match interview. He gave a heartfelt shout-out to Orton, calling him his mentor and a future Hall of Famer. Then, out of nowhere, Rhodes squashed rumors about Orton hanging up his boots, especially after concerns about a back injury flared up during the match. First of all, I have to thank Randy Orton, the legend killer. Nothing but respect for the guy who mentored me, the guy who spoke up for me. He's a future Hall of Famer, and this isn't his last stop here in Saudi Arabia, Rhodes said after his win. With the King of the Ring crown, Rhodes has secured a shot at the undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam, where he'll face John Cena. Jacob Fatu's controversial match sparks outrage. Veteran journalist Bill Apter didn't hold back when slamming WWE's booking of Jacob Fatu at Night of Champions, where he lost the United States Championship to Solo Sikoa in a chaotic mess. The match was overrun with interference, starting with JC Mateo jumping in to throw Fatu off his game. Then, Tonga Loa, absent since Survivor Series, stormed the ring to attack the Samoan werewolf. Fatu fought back hard, nearly pinning Sikoa, but the 7-foot Hikuleo appeared, blindsiding Fatu and setting up Sikoa for the win with a Samoan spike. In an exclusive chat with Sportskeeda Wrestling during the event, Apter was furious about how the match went down. He ripped into the referees in action, arguing that the blatant run-ins should have led to an immediate disqualification for Sikoa. Solo Sikoa gets the US title. Why do they even have a referee? I don't get it. There was so much interference that happened during that match, and the referee saw some of it. Why don't they disqualify? As soon as someone runs in, it's supposed to be a disqualification. What the hell did they do there to force them to take the title off Jacob Fatu and put it on Solo? With Solo Sikoa now holding the title and building a new crew, the power dynamic in WWE has shifted again. All eyes are on Jacob Fatu to see how he'll strike back against Sikoa's faction. The real reason why Solo Sikoa won the United States Championship. Solo Sikoa stunned everyone at Night of Champions 2025 by defeating Jacob Fatu to claim the United States Championship, marking his first singles title on WWE's main roster. The match was a wild ride, with Tonga Loa making a comeback to back Sikoa and Hikuleo debuting on TV to demolish the Samoan werewolf, paving the way for Sikoa's big win. Here are 3 reasons why the new bloodline leader walked away with the gold in Saudi Arabia. First, WWE might be setting up a bigger feud. With SummerSlam 2025 on the horizon, the messy finish to this title match screams rematch. If Fatu had kept the belt, there'd be little reason for another clash between him and Sikoa at the biggest party of the summer. Handing Sikoa the title keeps the story alive and heated. Second, Hikuleo's debut needed to make waves. The former NJPW Strong Champion had already appeared in a non-televised WWE match, but his TV debut was a game-changer. His attack on Fatu sealed Sikoa's victory, showing off his impact. Booking Sikoa to win with Hikuleo's help was a way to make the 34-year-old's arrival unforgettable. Finally, Sikoa desperately needed a big moment. Despite being in major storylines and matches lately, he kept coming up short. Winning the US title gives the Bloodline leader a fresh boost as a solo star. With Tongaloa and Hikuleo by his side, Sikoa could hold the belt for a while, maybe even climb back to the main event scene and chase a world title. This victory marks the start of his singles championship journey on the main roster. Triple H declares Cena vs. Punk is done forever. John Cena's days in the ring are winding down, and Triple H has made it clear that his epic rivalry with CM Punk is officially over. The Cenation leader put his undisputed WWE Championship on the line against the Second City Saint in a thrilling main event at Night of Champions. Despite interference from Seth Rollins, who tried to cash in his Money in the Bank contract, Cena came out on top after Rollins took out Punk, allowing the champ to keep his title. At the Night of Champions post-show, Triple H reflected on the match, calling it the final chapter for these two legends. It is just two generational stars coming together one last time. I think as much as it meant to fans here and around the world, I think that's what it meant to John Cena to see CM Punk. I'm glad we were able to put that fight together to deliver it here in Saudi. I'm glad they got to do it before John called it a day, he said. The night also saw Cody Rhodes beat Randy Orton in the King of the Ring final, earning a shot at the undisputed WWE Championship at SummerSlam. With Cena set to retire by the end of 2025, it looks like he'll face Rhodes next in a heated title feud. As for CM Punk, what's next after his last dance with Cena? The road ahead is wide open.